Edson Oliveira here. This is our monthly DNN Hero chat, and I'm gonna, start by welcoming a whole bunch of people this time around. There's a reason why we have so many people. I initially the idea was to do this 2 days ago, but nobody was telling me that they would come, and I said, who can I use as a wild card here that would come regardless? Oh, David. David will come to whatever I call him to too. So I invited David, and at the end of the day, we have a full house today, but a full house with great people in the DNN space. So I'm gonna run down here quickly the topics, and we're gonna go and spread the love across the guests here. The first thing I want to get out is the DNN 9. There's a lot going on the DNN 9. Everybody's promoting DNN 9. I'm promoting DNN 9 a lot. Actually, I sleep, drink, eat, think DNN 9 all the time because I'm doing, DNN 9 video reviews. So I'm gonna start with the webinar that is supposed to be the launch webinar for DNN 9. It's in a week. We are recording this November 30th. By the way, let me step back here. Why do we have almost everybody there with Christmas ornaments? It's because this is the last one of the year. I'll be traveling to Brazil by December 15th and will be back in January, so we will not be recording another one. So this is our November/December edition. So that's the reason why all the frills Christmas related. Anyone for anything on DNN 9? I mean, I'm gonna open before I go to my list here. Anyone there?
I would just say you actually do have a full house. You've got 3 with hats and 2 without.
See, we have a good balance there. Okay, so again, as going back to my original point here. So the first link and thing that I want to share is the webinar that will go on in about a week. It's the launch webinar of DNN 9. It's been promoted having Joe Brickman, Naveen as well, Will, Morgan Weck will be there as well, launching DNN 9. The link will be there. All the links will be posted in the video post. I want to get out of DNN 9 first, so I'm going to go through all DNN 9 related. So first one is the webinar. Second one, and by the way, guys, if you have anything to comment there, please stop me. Otherwise, I will just keep blasting away, okay? Good. Okay, so the next one here are the DNN 9, of course, the DNN 9 video reviews, which nobody can stand that anymore, but I keep putting them out, I still have 8. There are 14 so far, and I still have 8 to get done between this week and next week, and I should be done with DNN 9 for a while until DNN Summit, which I'll be talking more about DNN 9 again. But the link that I'm gonna share will have all the video reviews on DNN 9 all at once, and they are all posted on YouTube under the .NET Nuke playlist. Yep. Next one here, nightly builds. If you are interested in having a look at DNN 9, you can just go to the nightly builds page, and you can download the installation package of DNN 9 to have a peek, to have a look. Again, you have the videos, but you can install yourself as well in one of those nightly builds. You may get a nightly build that is not working that great, but you can give it a shot, give it a try. And actually, at this point in time, everything should be pretty much done there. There might be a few adjustments, but the nightly builds should be very, very stable. Good. Still DNN 9, but I'm gonna brush through this quickly. A few posts from Ash Prasad. Ash has been promoting very heavily the development, the coding side of DNN 9, which is adding more items to the persona bar. So here's a post adding a React.js app to the persona bar. There's another one diving deeper into React.js on the persona bar, in a persona bar extension. So again, Ash has been heavily promoting how to create new set these new configurations, how to add new stuff to the persona bar if you are a developer. So great post.
Just a note on that, Adderson. I had to do a demo of DNN9 recently, and I was looking at Ash Prasad's article, and I was actually going to look at like maybe scaffolding up that persona bar extension or whatever they call it. I forget what it's called, but the easiest thing to do, and it's not clear on the article the way it's written, the easiest thing to do to get it to work is to download one of the nightly builds, which I then had to search around to figure out where that link was. So if you provide that link and the link to his blog article, the easiest thing to do is download the nightly build, get that installed, and then you can build off of that.
Got it. Scott, do you foresee in the near future doing some dev videos on DNN Hero for the persona bar? Do you foresee that?
Yeah, I definitely see doing one on how to build that. I can't remember if it's called a persona bar extension, but it's a specific type of extension that allows you to plug in plug a menu item into that persona bar.
Perfect. Okay, great. Ralph, more towards yourself, Ralph. They are also publishing a set of guidelines of how to, from a UI point of view, how to put together extensions of the persona bar. Have you had a look at any of that? I mean, or not?
No, I haven't had a chance to look at that, but that's definitely something that's I'll be taking a look at soon. Sounds interesting.
Perfect. Okay, so moving along here, there's another blog post related to DNN9, which was done by Will Stroll. And the title is DNN9 appears to be a foundational step forward for the future of DNN. Yeah, appears to. I think that it is, but it's funny how he put appears here. I don't want to pick on you, Will, but appears to be a way for you to salvaguard yourself of not overcommitting. I mean, it appears to be. Anyway, I'm just pulling your leg here. Okay, so this post that he put together, he just went through his first impressions of the new admin UI of DNN9, and it's a good read if you have not had a chance to have a look at DNN9 yet. That's it about DNN9. Yeah, great. Hey, great. I'm done with that. Another interesting blog post that I saw, and this is a blog post with a theme behind it, is yet another free open source theme done by our friend Jeff Barlow, and it's called the DNN Minimalist, and it's the third one that him and his company put together. It's yet another theme, another open source theme for DNN. There is a post in the community blog. You can download from the DNN store, and you can see a nice demo of that theme as well, which does not have a top menu. It just has a pull down menu when you click on the little hamburger there. So quite a nice one. And again, it's great to see yet another. We don't see too many open source, themes out there, but this set that Jeff put together, this is the third one. This is a good set to get anybody started with DNN theming, DNN skinning. I would definitely. Go ahead.
There was an interesting little sidebar about that theme over on the forums. Did you see it?
I have not.
Somebody posted something about it and said they would like to use it, but they'd heard it was illegal. And they weren't real sure they should be using the theme. And apparently he had packaged, I think it was material components in the theme in a way that was not approved by Google.
And I'll be
Google
curious.
Control, I think the terms of use, basically say you don't redistribute it, download it from our CDN. And he actually then went to Google and said, what am I doing wrong here? And they granted him an exception.
Oh, really?
So he should put a big star on it that says, approved by Google. But for a couple of days, there were some posts floating around, that this theme is illegal. But to his credit, he followed up on it. He got in contact with the right people, told them what was going on, and they, he's got a letter somewhere that says what you're doing is okay.
Really? So that came, I mean, I don't know how deep you know, but that came directly from Google or somebody else came to him? I mean, what's up with that?
Well, somebody posted it on the DNN forums that they would like to use this theme, but Google said it was illegal. And I don't know if Jeff saw it or somebody sent a link to Jeff that said what's going on here, but within a couple of days he was there. He explained the situation and the fact that he had been in contact as a result of the forum posting.
Got
he
it.
had been in contact with Google and they had given him permission to distribute the theme without modification.
Okay, so Jeff, if you see this, if you watch this, let us know. Let us know how's it going. Let us know how do you feel like receiving a letter from Google saying that you are doing something wrong. Let us know.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting. Since pretty much every theme in the world has Bootstrap included, it was. I found it a little odd that the material stuff was.
Perfect. Okay, yeah. So
different.
It would be interesting to know exactly what's going on there, but yeah, let us know, Jeff.
It's a good thing. I mean, it's actually a quite nice theme. It's a good introduction into how to integrate material, and it's very minimalistic. That's the name, but it's actually quite good. I know of several production sites that are running off of it right now, a modified version of it. So kudos to Jeff.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's also great to see an open source theme that is a bit more feature rich. I mean, not only this one, but the other ones that he pushed forward as well. This is the third one. Because usually when you see an open source theme, it's very, very bare bones. So there's not usually much there to be. I mean, it can be the basis of something else, but this one here, not only this one, but the other ones that he put together, they are feature rich. So you can really use them out of the box without doing much, without doing much work. Of course, maybe some customization of the colors or things like that, but again, you can really use it out of the box.
I thought one of the very nice features, at least on I haven't read all the websites, but the website for his first one had several pages devoted to how to customize the skin.
Perfect.
So if you were struggling through that, not knowing quite what to do, he showed you exactly where to make. I think it was mostly color choices, but
got it. Very good, very good. And that's what those blog posts are about. They're about how to customize, how to make things, to change things on those different themes. Moving along here, the last blog post that I have on my repertoire is one from Daniel Mettler, which, hey, for a change, does not talk about Too Sexy. Well, it still talks a little bit about Too Sexy, but for a change, it's more of a generic recommendation, and it's actually a very good one, and I want to try that in many of our clients' websites, which is how to improve some points with your with a Google page speed. So there's one point that he addressed here, which is caching images, that you can say, hey, just by doing a few changes on your web config, you can specify that you want to cache images for 30 days, which is one of the checkpoints that Google page speed alerts people. And very easily he was able to move up his score on Google page speed. So again, great post to check it out if you want to improve the speed of your website and being seen with better eyes by Google. Good one, very good one. Anybody?
I actually
Go ahead, Joe.
I tried it, and the site that I tried it on, it didn't make a bit of difference, but I was kind of in a hurry. But I would just add to that, if you can find Ryan Moore's material from DNN Summit and before, he's got a very nice outline of things to do to improve your Google Page Insight score, which I've kind of been using as my guideline, and that's a very nice presentation. You have to work your way through a Prezi presentation, but
actually he has a nice blog post about it that recently we contributed a little bit to it, and he made some edits because of some things we found. But that in combination with Daniel's is a very good starting point for getting some vast improvement on your site. And then so it's really good.
One note, Joe, is again, if you did this in a rush, there are a few requirements that you have to meet to be able to use the suggestion that you was talking about. And one of those is to make sure that your IIS has the URL rewriter module. And again, I'm not talking about the DNN module. I'm talking about an IIS module. So it needs to be there as well. That's what I got from this article. So if it's not there, this may not be applicable to your scenario. And the point is, if you are in a shared environment that you don't have access to IIS, you may not be able to fully utilize this recommendation here, because again, it has some requirements, some basic requirements that you have to meet before you can really take advantage of this. Okay?
Correct. Yep.
Perfect. Okay, moving along. That was the last blog post. Just want to make sure that I mention about the DNN Summit, and in particular the DNN Summit interviews that I committed to do, and I'm doing them twice a week with a bunch of people. I have a pipeline of videos to edit, but I'm gonna share 2 links today. One link will have the sound bites, the full list of sound bites of the presenters that I have spoken with, and of course, as I publish them, the new ones as well. So this is a YouTube playlist that I have put together just with the sound bites. Sound bites are the small snippets out of the big interviews that will introduce the speaker. The speaker will tell about what their session is all about, and the one thing that they want people to leave that session knowing about. So again, so far we have nine sound bites, but more and more will come into this channel, to this playlist. So that's one. And there is also another playlist which has the full interviews. If you have plenty of time in your hands to go through 25 minutes of people rambling about their sessions, please, this is the place. You're gonna find all full video interviews right here. 6 so far, but a few already recorded and another 4 or 5 to come. So again, still a long way to finish here. Now, just about the DNN Summit in general. Anybody? Scott? Not Scott. I mean, yeah, you are more than welcome, Scott, to chime in. But David, Joe, anything there?
Well, I would just remind everybody that we're basically 6 weeks away from DNN Summit, so it's not something that's hypothetical anymore. Our room block with good room rates, those good room rates will expire if you haven't made your room reservations, I think by the 28th of December. So if you're coming to DNN Summit, you have to do 2 things. You have to register and you need to make a reservation. If you have any trouble at all with reservations, send an email to info@dnnsummit.org, and we will do our best to take care of that. The way that these things work is we don't commit to too many rooms up front, which means that towards the deadline we have to be adding rooms as they get filled up. So I'm the person who's stuck with the task of monitoring the room block and communicating with the hotel when we need to add rooms. A week and a half ago, we added a lot of rooms, and I noticed we did that just in time because a lot of people made room reservations the following week. So typically what you'll find is you can't make a reservation at the preferred rate because some night is sold out. Let us know. We'll get with the hotel. We'll fix that. Typically, these things run out on the weekend when you have to wait till Monday to get things fixed. But and the other thing is there's still an opportunity to go tubing, snowboarding, skiing, snowmobiling, or just sitting in the hot tub drinking the weekend after DNN Summit. I think we have, at last count, close to 40 people participating in that.
Whoa.
David will shake his head if my memory is faulty because I sent him the number. But so it's, I'm looking forward to a full week of DNN goodness, and part of that goodness involves being cold with a group of people.
So let me ask a quick question here. Who from the four of you guys will be staying for the slopes?
Yep, I will.
Scott? Not?
And
No.
Ralph's bringing his wife, if I remember correctly, right?
Yep, that's right.
There are several people who are bringing wives or significant others. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, she told me I can't go skiing without her, so that's fair enough.
And raise your hand if you know how to ski. Okay, I'm not alone. At least I'm not alone there. Okay, good. Anyway, I'll be honest.
I'm riding the snowmobile. I'm riding on a snowmobile.
Yeah, I'm still debating the weekend. I have to be honest. I'll be there for sure, but I'm still debating about the weekend. I'm still debating. So I had to come to terms because I have to buy my ticket, and I can only buy my ticket once I know when I'm gonna come back. Anyway,
well, it should
David,
be pretty fun, so I would encourage it. So.
Encourage it? Okay, even if you don't know how to ski, or yeah?
Yeah, there's tubing and all kinds of other stuff too. It's supposed to be a pretty neat tubing thing, not just some plane going down a hill type of thing. So there's supposed to be still just a lot of fun, even if you're not skiing. And they set up those resort towns like that to to be fun for not just people who ski.
Okay, so I'm gonna drill down a little bit on that because again, I'm on the fence here. Someone has to convince me to say, what do I need to have my full blown, I don't know, snowshoes and my skiing pants? I mean, should I bring that stuff? I mean, tell me, David, please tell me.
It's helpful.
Depends on if you want to be cold or if you want to, have snow rash.
No, Anderson, you guys, wait, you're missing an opportunity here. Anderson, it's perfectly okay for you to tube in your jeans. You'll be fine.
Okay. I know. What I'm saying is that if I'm not planning to go to the snow, I don't need to break because I don't have my nice fancy pants.
Yeah,
my
if you're
nice
in Toronto, I'm sure you have snow pants.
Yeah.
And boots.
I find it interesting that the only one who actually lives really in the north is the one who's complaining about the snow.
Okay, but guys, you're missing the point. I live in the north, but I'm not from the north, Come on. I'm from way southern than you guys.
And I'll be south of Brazil, and that's the equivalent of the north, right?
But here's the thing. I'm from the north of Brazil, so it's hot. It's hot. It's damn hot. And actually, I'll be in Christmas there. You know, can you believe Christmas there? We don't have snow, of course. But anyway, beyond the point here. Okay, thank you for the information for the skiers out there. I will consider.
Okay,
you know,
but
I'm sure that there are now a couple of dozen people who are going to come that weekend just to see you ski or whatever, Anderson. So that's not disappoint us.
David.
So there is a package that you may be just perfect for you, and that's the apres-ski package. You know, to where basically you just sit and people watch. You watch everybody else do it, and you have fun and drink in the lodge. So you know, feel free to do that.
I'm fine with that. You know,
It's not too late to sponsor as well. We still have plenty of openings for sponsorship.
Great.
And just remember, if it wasn't for the sponsors, we wouldn't be able to have these great community events. And the more sponsors we have, and the higher the level those sponsors are, the better the event will be.
Perfect. Okay.
And should you sponsor it, you do get some perks that if you're a sponsor, you don't have to pay to attend the conference. If you sponsor at a certain level, you can attend one of the training sessions on Thursday as part of your sponsorship deal. We should also remind people of the business roundtable on Thursday afternoon, which should be useful for people who use DNN in any phase of their business. And for the training session, there is Addison's doing a full day administrator training, but there's also a half day introduction to DNN. So that's a very useful thing to go to for someone who's either new to using DNN or someone who would like maybe a refresher, or maybe someone who's in a management position who would like to understand the package a little bit better, but without having to sit through the really good stuff.
Got it. Perfect. Okay. So moving along here, I just want to mention that DNN Connect 2017 is also going on. You know, it's also registrations are. I think that they are open, and again, full details here on this link. It will be the 25th to the 28th of May 2017 in Girona, again in Spain. I just want to quickly mention about them as well. Hopefully, once we are over DNN Summit, we can talk more and more about DNN Connect 2017. Moving along here, David, I will give you a bit more time here with these ones. This is about the Southern Fried DNN user group, which you guys had a meeting just a few weeks ago talking about securing DNN with Portal Keeper, and a little bit of me talking about DNN 9. So, David, do you want to, I guess, talk a little bit about Portal Keeper? Just 30 seconds, a minute there, Portal Keeper.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we had a great meetup back in on November the 18th, and Jean-Sylvain, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Boige, was able to present to us on that. And you can go to the southernfrieddnn.com, and you'll see the latest blog entry there is on that, and you'll see the replay for it. But in essence, I mean, we've had quite a few times where Jesse has presented on the Portal Keeper, and in various venues on DNN Connect, DNN Hangout. I believe you may have talked with him once before as well. But yeah, it's a great tool. It's quite techy, and you may, if you can jump into it and get a lot done to lock down the security of your website and make all kinds of adjustments to it. So very powerful, very, very, very powerful, very good at what it does. But it is not for the faint at heart, for a non-techie person. So I will put that caution out there, but it's great.
Yeah, I would love to see it. I really like the product. I would love to see it, having shorter, this is how you do this with the tool. This is how you do that. And very, very user case centric explanations, small explanations, small chunks. I remember you mentioning the user manual of this tool must be this thick. Yeah, you're right, because if you try to cover everything that it can do, I mean, it does a lot. Now, it does a lot of little things well. The only thing is that the packaging of those little things well are not, even if it's a video done that shows, hey, this is how you do this, and this is how you do that, and this is how you do that. You know, very simple, very, it would be, I think it would increase the popularity and usage of that tool, you know, David.
I agree. There's a great opportunity, you know, for some other community members, or even for Jess to do that and provide those type of things. It would really help, because I think for someone that's not real techie, their first glance at that is going to be pretty overwhelming. So being able to have to lower that barrier of entry for it would be really great. So it's a good opportunity for someone in the community to do that.
Great. Okay, so let's move along here. We're getting close to the end. I'm just gonna quickly mention, I'm not gonna go through each and every single new module, new theme, or new, you know, Forge extension there that was released. I just want to focus on one that I checked and I found it interesting. This YouTube playlist, which I'm showing a demo here. This is called YouTube playlist from CMS DNN module. That's the name of their organization. They are relatively new in the DNN store. They came on board last year, 2015, I think. And yeah, so this YouTube playlist is quite nice. I saw a demo of, and the link to the demo is also posted here. It shows the YouTube, you know, video on the left-hand side and a video list on the right-hand side very nicely. And at first look, you don't think that this is YouTube videos, because it's complete revamp of the YouTube player. I don't know how they were able to do this. No, it's a different experience of having a YouTube playlist on your site. Again, you guys cannot see that right now, but it's quite, I mean, you guys that are joined, but you that are watching this, you can see it. It's quite a different look, you know. And so it's a very, very modern and very, I kind of got impressed by this little module here, which is quite cheap, man, $14 and $15. So again, check it out, have a look. It's called the YouTube playlist. Coming to an end, here's what I'd like to do now. I'd like to, you know, let you guys talk a little bit more. I'd like to ask each one of you, what was one interesting project or task or problem or challenge that you have faced in the past month that you would like to share with us, with the group, with whoever is watching this. I'm going to start with you, Rolf. You are a bit quiet today, so let me get you started there. I'm going to give you more time there. So tell me, what is that one thing that you have done that you think it's interesting in the past month?
Well, I put out a release to my open source DNN video module, and it might have been in October. But yeah, so the church that I originally had built the module for asked for some updates to it, and basically adding some questions and answers to each video. And so, you know, just as a more of a front end guy and everything, it was you know, definitely some different aspects of trying to figure out how to you know, add another layer in without breaking stuff. But so now you can you know answer, the administrator can add questions to each video, and then the user can go through, watch the videos, answer the questions, and then later time, either the administrator or the user can pull up the questions and answers, review them together, however it is that they want to go about that. There's no like grading or scoring or anything like that. It's more discussion type of setup, but it's you know, add some extra layers of features in there. And if you don't add any questions in there, it just doesn't show show those in there. So
Got it. So, Ralph, if you can send me, please, a link to that module so people can have a look, people can check it out, okay?
and actually, if you can let me share my screen, I can show you real quick a little demo of that.
We may not want to try that because I'm see my setup here.
Early.
It's a house of cards. If I move something a little bit off, everything will fall apart. Okay.
That makes sense. No worries. Yeah. So yeah, I'll send you the link to the to it on GitHub. So
yeah, actually, while Joe talks about yours, Joe, you can send me that on the chat box. You know.
Okay. Sounds
Perfect.
good.
Joe, your turn.
Yes, I may have mentioned this before, but I was approached by someone for some help with their website, and it turned out that they were the victim of the create user attack against DNN, and so this is a very tiny website that had 370,000 users registered, and they were also had the event log configured so it saved a lot of stuff. So basically what would happen was the event log would fill up in the course of a couple of hours. The site would die. They had some SQL scripts try and clear out the event log. So a fair amount of time was spent in stopping the registrations, then getting rid of the users. And what the attacker was doing was once they created a user, they were going in and trying to edit the user profile. And I think the trick there is to put in where in the user profile links to sites they're trying to promote. And basically the idea is get links back to their website. So even if you turned off new registration, the website is getting pounded by attempts to open up the user profile page. So I had to go and set those pages to be only for registered users. So rather than throwing an error into the event log, it would just give them a 404 when they did that. So now managed to get rid of the 370,000, minus a few hundred actual users using a tool that was it Bruce Chapman created, or is it Scott McCullough?
Got it. I remember that tool. Yeah, I remember that post.
Yep. And that thing deletes users blocks of 10 at a time. So divide 10 into 370,000 and you can figure how many calls of that it had to take, each one taking about 45 seconds. So I think the thing ran for a week and a half before it got the users. And so now I'm down to the users are under control. People are, new users are not being recreated, but the site is still getting attacked by the bot that's trying to log on as one of the users it's created. And of course that at least is rejected nice and cleanly. And I modified the event log so it doesn't store too many of those records.
Yeah, Joe?
And I think it's been 2 weeks since the site died.
Yeah, so Joe, just to finalize that, if it's not fully sorted yet, you may want to check the Southern Fried meeting, because it was one of the things that Gene, that he addressed there with his module, So again, you may want to check that out, okay?
Yeah, I will do that.
Perfect. Ralph, I have your screen loaded here, okay? So yeah, I have your URL. People are seeing your module here. So thanks for that. Scott, your turn. What's interesting there?
I'd say maybe You guys know what a type ahead is, right? Or an autocomplete. It's when you're on a text box, you start typing, and it gives you a list of things that you may be trying to find, right? It's like a little mini search. And so originally I'd done it with a jQuery autocomplete, but I started using Twitter's TypeaheadJS. You could probably find the link, Anderson, if you just type in Twitter Typeahead, and it's a GitHub project. But really cool in that, normally when you do a type ahead, you ask make an AJAX call to get a source of information that it's presented, as you're typing, did you mean this, these items? But with Twitter type ahead, you're allowed to not only template the suggested items, but you can also pull from multiple sources. And so that's one of the things that I did. So imagine an e-commerce site that sells products, and you start typing in a word, and the type ahead is not just a list of suggested words to search from, but it's other products, other categories that match what you're typing, other manufacturer names or brand names. And so it's like a multifaceted type ahead. So able to do that with the Twitter type ahead open source project. So that was pretty cool.
I mean, that's quite nice. Can you narrow the source of that? I guess that's the set of where the type ahead will look for in terms of words. Can you narrow that?
You can do both prefetch or fetch type operations. Prefetch meaning you can provide it a data set of all the of hundreds of terms or whatever for it to look through, and it actually can look through it for you. It's got its own little search a search plugin called Bloodhound, which comes with that TypeaheadJS. But you could also implement the fetch, where as they're typing, it's going off dynamically to an AJAX service and pulling in data. And like I said, it can do multiple data sets where it can do three or four different data sources at the same time, bring them back and put the results together.
Got it. Perfect. Thank you for that. I have it loaded here for the video. David, what's up?
Yeah, so recently we did been working on a project that is a little bit on the fringe, and it's a lot of fun. It's related to IoT and mobile app development, and as well as using DNN as the back end. But essentially, it is a mobile app for a local town here in North Carolina that they wanted a historic walking tour. So we were able to leverage Ibeacon technology with some devices at key locations around the town and tie that into the mobile app using low energy Bluetooth to be able to detect when a tourist approaches a historic marker or area in the town, and the app will show some interesting history about it, as well as some imagery from many years ago, kind of thing. A very, very interesting way to engage and educate people on the town that they're visiting there. And they've got a neat little downtown area. So it was a lot of fun. It's using DNN as the back end, and we use Ionic to build the mobile app. So very cool platform, and enjoyed working with the IoT stuff and really getting a viable project working with that type of stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
Got it. So the user would have, of course, to have the app first, and then when they approach certain places, it would push information via that app. Is that in a high level? How
that's correct. If they have the app running, they would be consciously taking the historic walking tour using the app. And there's some guidance there for them on finding the different places. But when they actually approach within a certain distance of an area, it would do something in the app to be able to notify them of that information for that particular marker and so forth. So, and it's still in development. So there's just small amounts of information being shown now, but we're working on the user experience now. So we've got all the technical pieces working, so it's really great.
That's a great.
So you are the.
Go ahead. Sorry, Joe. Go
ahead.
You
have to deploy the markers around the town. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, there's a company called Estimote, and they make these great little devices that utilize the Ibeacon technology, and we just integrate with their platform on that. So very, very cool.
David,
Why would you do that, say, as opposed to using a GPS reference?
Well, it's a lot more
using the
accurate.
beacon.
Yeah, a lot more accurate for one thing. That's the main reason. But since this is something that people are consciously doing, and that they're taking this tour, it's much better to not rely on the GPS type inaccuracies on that.
And do you have the beacons kind of prominently identified so people will know when they're near one?
No, actually, that's handled via. That's actually handled via the app. The beacons themselves are not obviously visible. So in some places, if it's a historic building, it may be stuck to an inside of a window of that building up high, so they won't even really know that it's there. But the map is guiding them to that area, and then magically once they get there, they actually get this information. It's a pretty cool experience.
David, all cities, I think that should have something like that, I mean, I think that there might be an opportunity there for you to carve a niche there,
Yeah, it's a great thing. I mean, the Ibeacon technology is not new, but the way that this all kind of works seamlessly with the website and the mobile app and all that is pretty neat.
Perfect. Okay.
Several years ago, I spoke with someone about the notion of taking a photo of those historical markers, and if you took a photo of it, the app would figure out which one it was, and then basically open up a window of more than the Twitter sized thing blurb that could be put on the marker, but could open up something more than that. And the notion there was you might, that there was nothing to deploy other than knowing where every historical marker in the country was located.
Perfect. Okay, so
yeah, very cool.
My I guess my one thing that was interesting this month. It's really a tool. It's a tool that will allow you, it has a free option. Actually, I'm using the free option for now. It's a tool called HotCarrotcom, and it's a heat map of web pages. So you put a script on a website, and there are other tools like that out there. I mean, this is not that new anymore. But I got interested about this particular one. You put the script there on a page or on your entire site, and you can track how people use that page, and you can see the heat map of the usage of that page. For instance, I put that in a page that I have a video player on that page, and I could see that yes, people are really clicking on the video here because we see the heat map and it's very red on top of the video. So you can see how people use the page, how people navigate. You can see what is the percentage of people that scrolls down the page, because there is another view of the heat map that shows how far down the page people really went. So you can see that the very bottom, less than 20% went to the very bottom. So I mean, you don't need to care too much about the very bottom. If you need to improve something, focus on the upper part, which in a way it's obvious, but it's really great to have data that proves to you that the fact that, hey, this is where they're clicking, this is where they're going, this is where they're stopping. Actually, you can go as far as playing what people are doing on your site, and it goes through the timeline on how they are moving, how they are scrolling. It shows the whole thing like a little movie there. Very cool, very good tool called HotCarrotcom. That's my tip. I'm done. We are close to, I guess, at 50 minutes here. It's time. Guys, anything else before we close? This is, again, year's end. This is the end for, I don't know if anyone wants to pick up the tab for December, but I'm not around. By December 15th, I'll be away. and I cannot guarantee that I would be able to do that in December. So again, this is the final one for the year. Final words there, David, please start from you. Anything else?
Merry Christmas, everyone. And we'll see you on the summit.
Scott?
Yeah. Actually, are we going to
did.
record something at DNN Summit?
What is that, Joe?
Are we going to record something at DNN Summit?
You know, actually, my
the same room?
we could, but my idea was to do one right at the beginning of January once I'm back on the 5th. So between the 5th and the 18th, of course, we'll do another one just to catch up a little bit on a new year and what's coming up in terms of DNN Summit. So yes, we can do one there, but I was really thinking of doing the one before DNN Summit so we can, we can promote DNN Summit a little bit more and catch up on the new year. Okay? Perfect. So Scott?
Yeah, I would say ditto. Merry Christmas. See you at the summit.
Joe?
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year.
Perfect. And Rolf, of course.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, and always remember, be nice to everybody, especially during this time of the year. So
that's what I was just saying yesterday. Be nice.
Do your clean your neighbor's leaves up, right, Anderson?
That's what I was going to say.
That's about it, man. That's about it. No, don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk. That's it. Be nice to your neighbor.
That's right.
Even if it's your virtual
right.
neighbor, I'm gonna be nice to this guy here, and you guys will be nice to each other. So, anyway, guys, again, another great year. Looking forward to the DNN Summit, and have peace, enjoy with your family, with your friends, and we'll talk again in the new year. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you believe, go for it. Cheers. Bye.